Mansfield today on a Thursday, and what we decided to come into our Studio 3 because it's a more relaxed travel show today. We spoke about this a while back and spoke to two of the members of the panel who are going to be joining us. The first in the form of Richard Brown, who is a journalist. Richard, hi to you. Nice to have you with us once again on Mansfield today. How's it? So Richard is the journalist involved in this particular project. The other person is the videographer involved in the project, and that's Craig Rhodes-Harrison. Craig, nice to have you on the show once again as well.
Thanks, Jeremy. Great to be here.
Yeah, and the third one is the odd one out because he is the mural artist for this particular issue of Getaway magazine in the form of Giffy Domini. Hello, Giffy. How's it doing? How's it going, bud?
Hey, Jeremy. Good, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Good. Now, Craig and Richard, when last we spoke, you were on this journey on behalf of Getaway magazine. You've put this collaboration together. This time, fascinating title, The Berg and Vultures. Rich, tell us about it from your side.
So as you know, we had three legs of this series. The first one being up to the west coast with Kasim, the second with Buntu from P up into the Transkei, and then now with Giffy from Durban into the Berg. The whole point of which was to go and try and find this bearded vulture that is an endangered bird and only occurs in that small part of the country. And then also for Giffy to go and paint, or to firstly go and find a wall and then paint this bearded vulture on that wall, which he did, and it was spectacular. And we actually got to see the bearded vulture very briefly, but we did see it. So it was quite cool.
Well, I was going to say, if Giffy painted the bearded vulture, you must have been lucky enough to have seen it. Were you lucky enough, Rich, to have caught that on camera?
Unfortunately not. We unlucky in that regard, but we were driving up to a place called Hoek, a mountain lodge, and this vulture just came sort of parallel with our vehicle, and so we got a quite close look at it, but no recordings. So Craig, I guess it didn't happen.
Craig, that must have been the most frustrating bloody thing. When you see it next to you and you're just going, shit, where's my camera?
Completely, yeah. We used two-way radios between the two different cars to kind of communicate, and Giffy was obviously overjoyed when the fact that he spotted it. So we immediately stopped, jumped out, grabbed the cameras, but then it's like the bearded vulture was somewhat camera shy. Said, "Hey guys, you can have a look at me, but don't point a camera in my direction."
Whereabouts in the Berg were you guys?
So up in the northern part, it's called Hoek is that area, and we stayed at a place called Hoek Lodge, which is just spectacular. The views from there, and all the rain they've had now, it's so lush and amazing.
Craig, so I take it then that you managed to capture all of that, the surrounds that this particular vulture that only comes from that part of the country, that it exists in. I take it you were able to do that.
Yeah, fortunately we were able to spend a couple of days there, and being based at the foothills of the Sentinel Peak, it is really one of the most spectacular landscapes to not only, just witness firsthand, but then also be able to capture it from a camera's perspective. So it was great to be able to, drive through there, tour with the various vehicles, and then also obviously watch Giffy paint his masterpiece with that spectacular background.
Okay, Giffy, let's get onto that masterpiece now. Firstly, where did you paint it? And secondly, having just seen that bearded vulture for a very short time, how did you commit the detail to your head? Because you were obviously painting from what your memory told you.
So seeing the bearded vulture was a really spectacular thing. They're very rare birds, only found in a very small geographic area around the Berg. And they really are magnificent, magnificent birds to see. They're definitely the more handsome of the vultures, very beautiful birds. And I had decided to paint the bearded vulture before we saw it. Our plan was to go up there to try and find one and to paint one. So we managed to find one. And it was just after I had started. So I worked from some reference photos that I found. And I just sketched out the vulture. And we had just gone back for breakfast. And just as we were pulling into the resort, I got so excited on the radio. I was like, guys, there it is, there it is. And we jumped out and we're on our way to the vulture feeding station. And we hoped that there would be a lot more vultures there, but sadly there weren't. That was the only one we saw. So, yeah.
And where is this mural?
So the painting that I did was on a wall as you enter the Bitsy's Hook Mountain Resort. It's at the sort of foothills of the mountains. As you drive in, you can't miss it. And as I drove in, I just saw this wall and I thought, this is the one. This is the one. It's a beautiful brick wall, amazing background with rolling hills that go up. Yeah, just a really spectacular place. And so, yeah, I knew that was the spot. Loads and loads of people will see it. It's got a really amazing response from the community. All the passers-by, while I was painting it, were so stoked. They were taking pictures and offering me compliments. And, yeah, it was really special.
So when you talk about murals, it's not just the wall itself, it's actually the surrounds to that wall that become part of the picture as well.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. So I painted a blue background around the vulture, sort of like a baby blue, like a sky blue. And if you look at the wall from quite a low angle, like if you drive past on the road, that blue background kind of blends into the sky. So it really like accentuates the hot colors of the vulture. It's a sort of like burnt caramels and like very hot colors. So yeah, to have it in that setting with the mountains in the background and beautiful blue sky, yeah, it's really special.
Craig, I've never been to that part of the Berg before. I've always gone down the sort of southern Drakensberg way, so I don't know it that well. From a videography point of view, don't you get a little bit intimidated when you are in places that are so beautiful? Because you worry that you won't be able to capture the absolute beauty of that area.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those where you can get overwhelmed because there's just so much around you that's just, your visual stimulation is almost on overload. So fortunately, we're there in a relatively short time frame and we're there for a very specific purpose. So ultimately, it's all about showcasing Giffy and following his story of obviously venturing into the Berg, then exploring the surrounds, hopefully catching a glimpse of the vulture, and then obviously painting the mural. And it's how do I tie all of those other aspects and the beautiful scenery and landscapes, etc., into what that storyline is. So fortunately, you kind of kept on a relatively tight leash, just in terms of the story and the timings, but you can definitely catch yourself taking a moment or two, just in sheer awe of what surrounds you.
Richard, I take it that all of this will be available pretty soon through various ways in Getaway. Just tell us how people can access this entire interactive experience.
Yeah, so the video will go live at, I think it's the 28th of this month, and then the print story, which I would write, is a bit later on down the line. I'm not sure that they have an exact date for that or an exact issue for that. I think it might be the June or July issue. I'm not sure. But the video, which is the main thing, is coming out quite soon. So look out for that on the Getaway website and Getaway social channels.
Okay, and then a little bit later in the Getaway magazine itself, you'll be able to read the article. Yeah. Journos, all the same, hey? All running late for deadlines. Guys, thank you very much for talking to us. Are there any further ones in the pipeline? Are you guys looking at doing anything more?
Well, we're not sure as of now. No, but we are we're working on something, so we'll let you know as soon as we do.
Surely there are more places that you guys can get to, because it's been such a fabulous
Definitely.
series as it goes. Go and kick
Yeah.
somebody's ass at Getaway. Otherwise, tell us, we'll go kick their ass as well. But to the three of you, to Craig Rhodes Harrison, Richard Brown, and Giffy Dumini, thank you very much for joining us on the Travel Show on Mansfield today. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and we look forward to that video and the article as well. And well done, Giffy, for your contribution to what's happening.
Thank you. Thanks, Jeremy. I appreciate that.
Having us.
Thanks,
That wraps
guys.
it up for us for this Thursday. We'll be back with another travel show next Thursday, and plenty coming up this weekend as well. Oh, I was told, please remind me, I'm talking to my crew now. I was told a joke last weekend by my mate Jigs the Vest when I was at the Rose. Remind me, actually, you know what? Remind me to tell it to Melanie when we're doing the gardening show, because on Saturday. Okay, just remind me about the guy who wants to join a really, really tough bikers club. Okay, don't forget. And don't forget to tune in tomorrow. Once again, Mansfield Today from us here. Cherry bye.